So I guess this makes part 3 of my MP44 build, the Sturmgewehr. I have already opened the gearbox because you don't want to see that. It just would take forever. This was the first Javelin that actually had tight screws on it, probably because it wasn't made by APS, and they used Torx with split ring washers to keep it tight, which is nice. Though one of the screws was missing the head. I got to use some pliers on that. But the gearbox, it appears to be a copy of the Marui style reinforced with radius hole, so should prevent cracking. But it's their typical Marui. You can kind of tell by the. It's not a Marui; it's AGM obviously, but they copied Marui because you see you have the one screw hole at the bottom. Open window in the back, which was used in the M4s, where they had those little tabs in the back. They kind of slid down. You still see it on JGs and Echo 1s because Echo 1s are JGs. And it doesn't have the reinforcing in the back like you see on the Systema gearbox and the classic armies. Well, I guess the early classic armies were like this too. But they always had the extra screw at the bottom. So, copy of the Marui original. Well, not original because it wouldn't have had the little strengthening gusset there. But enough about that. Let's see what else we got here. Metal spring guide with 2 washers stacked on it. I'll replace that with a ball bearing. Spring is short, your typical clone sort of spring. Short and stiff. So I'm guessing it's an M120. See a white piston here. So I'll pull this out. Oh, wait, what's that? Ooh, look at that. Haven't seen this in a while. It's a half rack of metal teeth. For if you had the old style gears that were high torque and they had to clear this area. But I don't know, that's pretty strong. So I'm assuming they did that to survive the spring being so stiff. Just plain old steel gear, steel, yeah, not steer. It's not a cow. Steel gears. I'll put them on my counter. This thing's a full cylinder because the barrel, I believe, is a 500mm. This is hard to do with my left hand. I didn't even check the air seal on this thing because it's not even going to reuse this. I could now just do a sort of a ghetto air seal test. Let's see, put that on top of there, and not bad. Don't know what the tappet plate is, or the loading nozzle, but that'll get replaced too. I'll put an O-ring air nozzle in there. But that's on there pretty good. I will be reusing this. It looks like it's chrome plated, or at least nickel, so that should be nice and smooth. Tappet plate, typical version 2. Flexy enough. So I'll reuse that till it breaks. Looks like an M16 M4 air nozzle. I'll double check the length on that and put it in the comments when I rebuild the gearbox. Alright, what else we got here? Come on out, sector. Holy shit, that's kind of stuck in there. That's, yeah. I'm betting that these bearings are so crappy they're like grabbing onto that, yeah. Steel again, so, and yeah, pulled that thing out. Sort of another steel spur gear. Not much lube. It's where it should be. If you look at the teeth, they're coated on the teeth. I usually like to put lube on this, so when I spin it over a few times, first few times I can see if it's contacting. When you shim it, it shouldn't be contacting, but it just sort of kind of helps you maintain the height and see exactly what's going on when everything's bolted down and running, which you can change from just things can happen. Steel inner reverse latch with a, looks like a steel pin shaft, so I'll keep that too. That does not look to be cast. Type of plate, kind of a crappy-ish white plastic switch assembly. I don't know if we can see in there to see if it's burnt or all. This gun had very low miles on it when I bought it. But it does not appear to be. These wires, probably not the best. Look to be about, could be 18, but I'm guessing that's a 20. Really kind of hard to tell without my micrometer, which is across the room. So I will not be grabbing that. Again, the screw head broke off somehow. Oh wait, this is loose. So, well, we'll have to figure out what happened there. Piston head is ported, but it's crappy. Even with ports. So that's what I'm putting in it. I have a SHS 13-to-1 gear set. See that here. They have the heat-treated lower bolted to the regular steel upper. 2 bolts. I've seen these back out. This one actually did on me once, so Loctite those in place. Here's the. This is big and beefy. The this spur spur gear is pretty. These are pretty solid. I prefer to use these because they're nice and thick, as opposed to their bevel gears, which suck. SHS bevel gears tend to break, and they've even broken this one, even with it, on medium duty. So I'm replacing it with a classic Army bevel. Nice steel bevel gear. It doesn't not heat treated on the lower teeth, but SHS supposedly were heat treated, and they broke. And what do we got here? It's probably an Element or a Super Shooter piston, full metal. I've already removed one tooth. Probably correct the AOE with some Sorbo on the. Actually, no, I can't correct it with Sorbo because this is a silent piston head, so I'll have to put a spacer here to correct it. So got a silent piston head on there. I forget which brand. Could be also be Super Shooter or Element. Whoever made the piston probably got the corresponding piston head and cylinder head. So it's a double O-ring. It's SHS or Element. It's probably SHS, but it's the silent one, so it's quieter. And I do have a JG high torque motor. I'll put in there. This came with a AGM blue high torque motor. It's similar, but these, I think, these are more reliable than the AGMs. And that I'm just reusing that. So that's that. So yeah, I'm gonna take this to work tomorrow, clean it up, get all that other grease out of there, and clean off these gears, because these are used. These have been in other guns before, so those are well used. So just give everything a good cleaning tomorrow, and reassemble and test as it is, and then from there we'll tweak and make adjustments. So that is update 3 on my MP44 project.